Hi everyone, how are you all doing? Welcome to ASC Astrology. I am your host, Blue Yasmin, and today I want to talk about a really special configuration that is going on today. It started on the 8th of August and will end on the 16th of August, and it involves 5 planets. This is what you would call a mystical rectangle. I like to call it the envelope, as you can see that the mystical rectangle configuration looks like an envelope. And I will explain to you why it is named the mystical rectangle, or indeed some of us like to call it the envelope. But there is something more to this configuration. The mystical rectangle, the envelope, has opened. And the universe is literally doing an express delivery on us. And it has delivered an extremely special, life-changing, world-changing gift. But the gift comes with a warning sign. So I want to go into this configuration, but I want to really start off just explaining the mystical rectangle rather than the open rectangle or the open envelope. And this involves the 4 planets. We have Pluto in Aquarius, we have Neptune conjunction with Saturn in Aries, and we have Mars in Libra, and the Mercury that has just finished retrograding a couple of days ago in Leo. So these 4 planets have come together and formed this wonderful, mysterious envelope. And the mystical rectangle is, it's a powerhouse of great opportunities and a real opportunity to do much growth. And it also has what we like to say in astrology, hidden talents and hidden gifts, that if you work through the energies of this envelope, then a gift is released. And sometimes it is done spontaneously. It is a rare configuration. Some people are born with a mystical rectangle, like myself, and some people are born with the open mystical rectangle, which means that they are open. They're born with these gifts and talents. And so let's get into it and see what energy is involved in this beautiful envelope. We have Pluto in 1 degree in Aquarius, and Pluto is about power and control. It is the Hades, the underworld, the underground, and Pluto really wants us to excavate and explore and investigate and question, only to find answers that will help to progress us. Pluto, of course, many of you must know that it is about death, and it is about decaying and disintegration and festering. It needs to put something to a death process, but there is not a full stop to the death. It is where death then leads to a reincarnation, a rebirth of something better, something that is ready to go through the process of advancing you as an individual or us as a collective. And it is in the sign of Aquarius, and of course Aquarius is about the collective. Aquarius is about the self and personal freedom, but also about humanity and how the collective can be supported in that humanitarian way. And Aquarius likes to shake up the status quo. It wants to get rid of old systems that doesn't work for us anymore. It has this great streak of rebellionism, and it has this great skill of stepping out. In fact, Aquarius is about being outside the box. It doesn't even belong in this box. So it's very good at looking in from the outside. So it has this fantastic, intelligent perspective on what is going on. Aquarius is one of the most intelligent signs. And so you can imagine with Pluto, with its destructive, its death and power, and the need to go through transformation, in Aquarius, where it is in the house of changing into something new, not like Pluto where it's about reincarnation or regeneration. Aquarius is really about getting rid of something altogether and starting completely anew. It is novel, and it wants to build up new systems, social systems for the collective, as well as making new systems by the use of technology, new technology, innovative technology. And so with Pluto in Aquarius, we are looking at social transformation. We are looking at advanced technology, and perhaps this is AI, and this is going to shake everything up. But it's going to take us to somewhere that we've never been before. And I just want to talk about this energy that a lot of astrologers have been talking about, and it's the minor trine. So I'm going to digress a little bit and then come back to the mystical rectangle. The minor trine that has occurred since early spring includes Pluto in Aquarius and Neptune and Saturn in 1 degree in Aries and Uranus in 1 degree in Gemini, although it did start as Gemini was in the late degrees of Taurus. And the minor triangle that it has created with the combination of these planets has given us this perspective of something that is going to be completely and utterly new. This configuration is so rare that no one has really seen this. It existed, and I mean the human race through civilization has experienced this combination. And so that's how rare it is. And so this is something that we've never experienced before. And we are really entering something that is new and authentic, and it is something that we've never experienced or lived through in our lifetimes. So going back to Pluto, yes, it's about social transformation and through technology too. And so, it is going to disintegrate old systems that's not working for us anymore and come into systems that is going to be for the collective, where it works for the collective in that humanitarian way. And then it sounds very ominous, it sounds quite frightening, and we should be nervous, and I think many of us are, because we don't know what to expect. But we have to look at this energy configuration where Pluto is sextiling to Neptune, and Saturn, they're in conjunction in Aries. So this sextile is a very supportive aspect, and if we work through this energy, we are going to be gifted with so much blessings. So it's important to, use this supportive, harmonic energy that the sextile is. And Neptune in Aries, well, Neptune is all about illusion, and it's about secrets, and it is the planet with no borders. It is of a veil where you can't really make out what's behind. It's the intangible. It is the unconscious and the consciousness, and it is pure love. Neptune is the dreamer, and it is highly intuitional and extremely creative, but it works on that dream mode, that daydreaming, that night dreaming. Well, we have Saturn in conjunction in Aries. Now with Aries just wants to pull everything out of Neptune, because Aries is all about initiation and starting up something. It's about self-progression, it's pioneering, it's high in energy, and it just wants to go forward. And what it wants to do with Neptune is just pull out the dreams and the creativity and the intuitions and the ideologic kind of ideas. And it wants to also pull out the illusions and the secrets. And with Saturn being the task master, and Saturn is just wanting to work hard, putting everything into structure, is going to do that with Neptune. It's going to put the dreams into structure. It's going to bring the intangible into something tangible. And Aries is just going to pull out that energy and help bring out this creativity of Neptune and these dreams of Neptune's and wishes and hopes. Because Neptune is all about compassion and love. And, with Aries, it doesn't like Aries too much, because Aries is all about being assertive, speaking your mind, and it's not sentimental. But with the two together, there could be this beautiful combination of, with Saturn, putting something into structure that is beautiful yet intangible, and it's something that we all feel inside, that love, that beautiful imagination that we are all blessed with, and bringing into something that is of something that we can experience, something that we can create and put into action, it being in Aries. And of course, this has got to be a beautiful thing, because it's sextiling with Pluto. So it's asking us to go deep. And then we have the Neptune, Saturn, both at 1 degrees, in Aries, sextiling to Uranus, and Uranus being in Gemini. Now, this could be where Uranus is just uploading the consciousness of Neptune and bringing it into a place where it's just going to come out as a surprise, as a shock, as a bolt of lightning. But I'm going to come back to Uranus a bit later. I want to go back to the other side of the mystical rectangle, or the envelope with many gifts. We have Mars in Libra. Now, Mars in Libra is detrimental. However, Mars is enshrined with Pluto, and is enshrined with Mercury in Leo. So these energies that is occurring in Libra with Mars, which it really, when you look at it on the surface, doesn't look that great, because it's detrimental in Mars, and in Libra, and Libra is about relationships, and Mars is about the self. Libra is about being intimate and going deep, and Mars is very much, let's just go and get on with it, no sentimental thoughts, and it just wants to take action. And Libra, well, it needs a lot to take action. And it is sextiling with Mercury, where in Mercury, we've got Mercury that had been retrograding, and sextiling with Mercury, it wants to take action with its communication. But at the same time, Mars is opposing Neptune. And in this mystical rectangle, in this envelope, it's opposing Neptune and Saturn. And while it's opposing Neptune, it could draw out all these illusions, disillusionments, and secrets. And while it's doing so, it may create this stage with Mercury in Leo, this stage of anxiety, confusion, because Neptune is confusion and disbelievement. And then we have Saturn, it's opposing to Saturn. This could bring a feeling of anger and frustration and anxiety. However, the opposition between Mars and Neptune and Saturn, we do have the sextile and the trine that is buffering and softening the effects of the opposition. The oppositions in the mystical rectangle is tension that grows between the planets that are involved in these oppositions, and it can create a lot of conflict. But there is where you can master these oppositions, but because these oppositions are clammed around these sextiles and trions, this softens the process of the oppositions, and we are kind of protected with that high tension energy that it can produce. So be aware that there could be some unrest, but if only for a little while. The Mars sextiling to Mercury in Leo, it was retrograding, but now is stationary going forward. And it has been, through the retrograde, reviewing its communication and how it interacts with others. It has been reviewing, and now, as it came through the stationary direct and now going forward, it's refining its communication skills, its creative communication. Mercury wants to be on the stage and be heard in Leo, and it wants to communicate and socially interact, but in that noble way and in that honest way. It wants to shine with its communication, and it's sextiling with Mercury, and it's saying to Mercury, okay, Mercury wants to be assertive, but and Mercury wants to communicate what Mars is doing, but with Mars, it's being forced to be diplomatic in that Libra nature. It wants to be assertive. It's going to be assertive, but it's going to be doing it in a diplomatic way. And trining to Mercury wants to do this on stage, but gracefully and nobly, and it's going to be heard. And so then we have Mercury that is sextiling Uranus. Now this is where the open envelope occurs, with Mercury going into Leo at 4 degrees. And it sextiles with Uranus at 1 degree in Gemini. And you can see here in the diagram that Uranus also sextiles with Neptune. So you can see the opening of this envelope. And this is where the universe has done an express delivery and dropped us this gift. And this gift, as I said, has a warning. It is in Uranus, and so this gift is very, very unexpected. But we're not going to know what this is or what these are for a very, very long time. This mystical rectangle and open envelope is going to affect us on all levels. It's going to affect us physically, it's going to affect us mentally, psychologically, socially, politically, geopolitically, environmentally. It's going to affect us on every level, and some levels more than most. Again, this is about the shake-up of all the systems, with Pluto being in Aquarius, and then it is trining also to Uranus. So this is all about shaking up and bringing in something new, bringing something unexpected, novel and unique, something that we've never experienced before, as I said. Now, we're not going to know this for a very long time. One reason for this is because the minor trine that is between Neptune, Uranus and Pluto, they're generational planets, so they move very, very slowly. Pluto is going to be in Aquarius for 19-20 years, and Neptune will be in Aries for about, I think it's about 11 to 13 years. And then we have Uranus that is going to be in Gemini for over 7 years. And then on top of that, we have the universe dropping Uranus this gift that is going to be handing over to us. And this degree that this gift is coming in is in 1 degree. It is but a seed. It is but an egg that has quite a long time to hatch, and the seed that has quite a long time to sprout. So it is that feeling of how we feel about AI. Oh, well, we're not really understanding it, but we know it's here and it's only just getting started. What is it going to sprout? What is it going to grow into? And many of us do live in fear of that we're going to be taken over by AI, or that AI is going to be so misused that it's going to be dangerous for humankind and for the world. And however, what this placement is asking us to embrace the changes, even though we will go through stages of antipathy, fearing of what is new. Now, we always fear what is new, whether it's good or bad. We do fear. We have this kind of, we kind of step back and we're trying to work out what this newness is and how it's going to affect us, and what are we going to get from that, or what is the newness going to get from us. And so it can be a very anxious time when something new comes along. And we always knew that technology was going to improve, and there's been for a very, very long time this talk about artificial intelligence, but many of us didn't expect it to happen so soon. And we really don't know where AI is going to take us and where AI is going to go. None of us, and even the most intelligent, or the most intelligent in the world of technology and even AI, are very unsure where this journey is going to take us. But what Uranus is saying is that you have to embrace this. This is going to be to do with communication in Gemini. It's going to do with transport. It's going to do with social interaction. So maybe this is AI, but maybe there are other things that are going to take place that are going to affect the way we communicate to each other, the way we travel. One of the theories that I have on one layer is that, and this is just a theory, that with the mystical rectangle and the opening of the envelope is that you have Mars that could be the military, and then you have Pluto in Aquarius, and Pluto is very secretive, it's cryptic and it's hidden, and it's also authority and power and control. So maybe there's been some kind of Pluto investigation behind the curtains, underground, of something or another. And if you look at where it is sextiling to Neptune, well, Neptune is all about the things that you can't touch or you can't see. It is the state of gas. It is the state of air. And it is also the plasma, which is known as the fourth state. The plasma, which is what most of the universe consists of. And it is just this atmosphere of just almost nothingness but seedlings. It is where perhaps we may, from this fourth state of matter, create a new element, a new kind of fuel. With Neptune. Neptune is oil and gas. So maybe there may be a new kind of fuel, and through the investigation and research, something has been dropped in Gemini, and it's created something that they never would have dreamt of foreseeing, something of a surprise, something of a shock. But it's going to be something that we may, now again, this is all theory, that maybe it's a new fuel, maybe it's a new fuel that we may use for transport. Who knows? I mean, this is just one theory, right? I mean, like I said, this affects us on all different levels. So Uranus in Gemini, well, Uranus is about progression, and no matter how much we're fearing what's coming towards us, which is going to be new, and it's going to do with technology, it's going to do with communication, it's going to do with social interaction and the and networks. It could be biological. It may affect our or affect our nervous system. Gemini is the nervous system. So we have yet to find out what it is, but it's going to be a wild ride, and maybe a little bit scary for some of us. But Uranus is telling us, just hold on. We're doing this collectively. Uranus is Aquarius, about the collective. And we have to remember that and have faith in Uranus, because although it may come as this destructive force in its creation, this planet is a creative, destructive force where it creates something absolutely novel and new and outside the box, outside the system. So it comes as a shock, and it comes spontaneously, it comes quickly without us expecting it. And you're never ready for Uranus and what it has to ever offer us. We are never ever ready for the surprises and shocks that Uranus gives us. Uranus is the electric shocks, and it is that thunder and that lightning bolt, and so it can bring us into a state of shock and a state of not being prepared and ready for what's coming. But just remember that this is about the collective. It is about us doing and going through this together. And just remember that Uranus always is about progression. No matter what it's offering us, Uranus is about evolution. It's about advancing. It's about progression. And this is what it's saying. It's saying that yes, there may be a sense of anticipation. This is what I'm all about. But you need to embrace this. How do we embrace it? How do we embrace it? With a sense of collectiveness. We embrace it individually and as a collective responsibly. We do it with a sense of creativity. We do it with a sense of while we're feeling that anticipation, a sense of trust. And to do this responsibility, do it with responsibility and with care and with compassion. Uranus is the awakener. It wants to wake us up. We've been asleep for far too long, and we all need to wake up. And we all need to be conscious, and that is Uranus. So Uranus is about ascending, and so it wants to bring us to a place where we can progress and ascend as a collective. So, have you got that ticket to ride? And if you're saying no, let me tell you that you have. We all have that ticket to ride. We do not have a choice, not unless you're living in some kind of isolated island, completely on your own, without any technology. And I'm sure that's not you. You have got a ticket to ride, whether you like it or not. And we are going on this ride together. So roll up, roll up, roll up for the mystery tour. This is happening. And so let's hold hands. Let's be compassionate with each other. Let's be understanding with each other. Let's get on that seat. Let's get belted on and get ready for that wild ride that is coming. We are going to be frightened at sometimes, but we're going to be in awe. And we're going to come out that ride feeling challenged, yet coming out that ride being better, being more progressive as human beings. We will have ascended, and this is a long, long process. So be patient and be well. And on that note, I will leave you there. If you did like this content, please give us a thumbs up and do share. It's always good to share. And if you want to hear more from us, do subscribe and press onto that notification button so you get a ding dong when I do release another new video. Until then, do take care. Lots of love.